Hey everyone, hope that you've grabbed your favorite refreshment and that you're ready to sort of join in a 20-minute discussion about donor-centric newsletters. The how, the why should you invest your energy and time, right? So welcome to RKD Group's fundraising refreshments. They're just bite-sized webinars to kind of give you something additional to your day. And if you have any questions during this webinar, please go into the chat, put them in there, and we promise to get back to you ASAP individually and give you some answers. So with that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I'm Lisa Rossi. I'm a Vice President of Client Partnership with RKD Group. Prior to joining the agency in 2013, I, for about a span of 30 years, spent my time at 4 different organizations here in Dallas, leading development and marketing efforts. And with that, 10 years was at the SPCA of Texas. So imagine this, I have a dog and a cat, both adopted, of course, and there could be a chance that you might hear barking or meowing during this webinar. Hope that doesn't bother you. So here we go. Let's talk about today's treat, which is newsletters and what's the benefit. The benefit is stewardship, right? We're thanking, we're engaging our donors. We're showering them with gratitude. We're helping our donors feel like they're on the front lines with us, because really they are. And we are trying to inspire confidence. When we inspire confidence and we steward properly, and our donors feel like they're a part, that they're doing it together with us, you will get more revenue for your mission. So that's what we're looking for. So let's talk about, where do nonprofit teams struggle the most? And we're going to say this quite a few times throughout our time together, and I hope to get you repeating it with me before the end. And that, it's all about the donor, right? It's about the donor. And I can say this because in our world, we are famous for trying to make a newsletter be a complete end all to cover volunteers, staff, and everyone. It is not. So what I want you to know is the donor is your main audience. Stop trying to address volunteers, staff, or another constituent group. Stop taking press releases and making those, hey, just pop in stories with the photo. They are not. Those are for the mass audiences. So you have to take that press release and begin to bring the donor into it. We do not want to tout that the organization did it all, because someone had to fund keeping the lights on and our salaries and all the other expenses that go with us delivering our missions. So how do we do all that? We have 4 areas that we're going to focus on today, really to just create that engagement and bring the donor into it. So what does that look like? The first round is language. I know number 1 is talking about that audience again, which is not language. I'm going to keep bringing this home to you. Your audience is your donor, and I really want you to focus on that. So we're here to shower with gratitude. We're here not to say the organization did it by themselves. We're going to make this very clear. We want short sentences, compelling headlines, great pull quotes, eye contact in our photos. We want to paint a picture with our words, because in today's world, everyone scans what they read. So if you believe that every donor is going to sit down and read every word of every story, you're terribly mistaken. They're going to scan. So we need those pull quotes and other things and compelling headlines to draw them in. So I'd like to start, and I promise not all my examples are animal welfare, but I'm going to start with the Humane Society of Missouri and this terrific article that was their front cover. And it was all about Neo, and Neo was a hero. I have to tell you, Neo saved not only his life, but 6 other dogs' lives at the same time by getting out of a window, up on a roof, and howling until the neighbors had to call the Humane Society of Missouri officers to come. But Neo to the rescue there at the top did not bring the donor into the front line. So Neo howled, and you were there. As a donor, you have now brought me in. And throughout the article and at the end, it was a reminder of, you, along with many other heroes, made this happen. You know, you transformed the lives of Neo and they named off every one of the other dogs. So these are the things that we're looking for as we begin to write. In this case, with Susan G. Komen, we have progress you made possible. That is a compelling headline. You know, your partnership is ensuring we can change breast cancer treatment for the future for everyone. And then we have Robin and how the donor has helped save Robin's life. And I'm connecting with her eye to eye. And I have a pull quote, one sentence testimonial from her. Over on the right, I'm showing you a call to action within a newsletter from Northeast Louisiana Food Bank. So this is a call to action. Their front cover actually says, hey, thank you for everything you've done, but they're needing support for their kids program in the summer. So here's our call to action. Your support will feed kids this summer. And then here's one from the American Bible Society. And this is really some great pull quote testimonials. And then dear donor, you made it happen. That's what I like to think of this as. So, you know, we have the testimonial, and then we have your helping God's word, you know, get God's word to the people in Ethiopia. The Bible you helped provide to Peru. And then we have Michaela, and we're staring right in the eyes of Michaela and seeing the happiness that's there. So as a donor, I'm feeling very connected. Let's talk about the focus area number 2. I didn't start with number 1 about the audience, but hey, I need you to say this with me. Who is my audience? The donor. Hope you get used to this. We're going to talk about prime real estate. Front covers, back covers, the story on the front, the back cover showcasing events, impact, wish list, all stats, whatever you need. And then executive director always on page 2. And I know a few of you always want it on page 3, and I can live with that. But page 2 is the best. But I'm going to back up a second, and we're going to spend a minute. Probably the longest minute we're going to spend in this 20 minutes is right here on the front cover. And here's why. If your story on the front cover does not go back to the root of your mission and reconnect that donor to why they gave to your organization in the first place, you've missed out. And why do I say that? Because you don't know where Susie donor has been today. And she just picked up her mail. Susie could have had an uninsured motorist car wreck right before she came home. Susie could have spent her day in the dental chair with unexpected, you know, dental work that had to be done. Susie could have lost a loved one. Susie could have really just had a horrible day. Or Susie could be in a great mood, had a super day, but her super day wasn't about your organization. So we don't know where Susie is emotionally when she opens her mail. So I have to get her inside the envelope, number 1. But number 2, I need to bring her back to the very first passion she had about your organization and why she gave you a gift. So I need that story that's going to rivet her back and bring her back to the beginning and make her feel so good, or him so good. And that the photos are eye contact. I have pulled Susie or John donor in right there. And that's what this is about. So let's look at a few. Over on the left, I have Pasadena Humane. And here we have Bruno, survived life on the streets. And this puppy was saved because of you. And at the bottom, we pulled it back in. Thank you. We can save more puppies like Bruno and give them a second chance because of you. Over on the right, we have St. Mary's Food Bank. And this is beautiful because you care. Leslie no longer needs to skip meals. Thank you. And look at this picture of Leslie. We're riveted eye to eye with her. And we have a 1 sentence testimonial from her as well. I'm feeling really good as a donor about what I've done for Bruno or for Leslie. Let's look at their back covers done properly. Over on the left, Pasadena says, hey, I'm all about events right now. I've got 3 of them upcoming that I need to get out to the donors with an event calendar. I'm there. And on the right, St. Mary's is saying, hold it, take advantage of the Arizona Charitable Tax Credit, and they've given you FAQs, a QR code to get there, to engage you. They've given it all to you right there. So very important, prime real estate has been covered beautifully in both of these newsletters. Let's look at some ED columns. So whether you're a CEO, executive director, or a president column, we don't need it called that. Too many newsletters I pick up say president's column. That doesn't need to be there. The photo does, because donors know what the top looks like. And if we have a new donor, they want to begin to know what that executive director or CEO looks like. So the beauty of this is you can start out, make it very warm and friendly, like on the left with Humane Society of Missouri, it says, "Dear friends." Or on the right, Michelle has beautifully said, "Hey, I'm bringing you into this. This is what's going on." Our donors are looking for what's happened and where we're going. And both of these do that beautifully, as well as continue to thank the donor. They couldn't have made it happen without the donor. On the left, Kathy talks about resilience and being creative and nimble. Could not have done it without your help, and I'm grateful to you, and we've got all this to do yet. Same on the right, Michelle's saying, this is where we're going, and hey, we are so grateful for supporters like you. Here's some more examples, short ones. On the left, we have the Vermont Food Bank. Love this. Working together, nothing is impossible. Thank you. Beautifully done. And on the right, we have the president's column. Actually, as a headline, look at this. It's reaffirming the donor and the organization together. Together, we're saving lives. And then it starts out with "Dear friend." So these are important ways to look at your newsletter and to speak to the donor. Feel that you're talking to the donor. And to do that with your stories and everything you do, I want you to imagine the donor straight across the table from you. I want you to imagine you're at coffee together and you're telling them about this. And there's no way you'd be saying, "We did it, we did it, we did it," as an organization. You say, "Thank you. Thank you for making this happen. We were able to do this together." That's a different we. So let's keep going. Focus area 3. What's usually number 1? The audience. Please say it with me. Donor is my audience, right? Who's the audience? The donor. Okay, photos with eye contact, consistent branding throughout. I need white space. And use of infographics is okay, especially with annual reporting, but we want to use numbers sparingly and really the important numbers. We don't need 6 pages of annual report. We need to hit the important highlights. So let's look at some eye contact here. You can't miss it over here with West Ohio. We're looking Barbara, we're looking Randall right in the face. I love this child in the center at the Food Bank of Northeast Louisiana. And over here at 3 Square, we can't miss seeing Paul eye to eye. Great eye contact. Consistent branding. Just use the American Bible Society as an example. You can't miss that this is a template. It's branded. It is branded throughout. It has donor-centric language. It's all about you did this and we did this together. It is calls to action, done very well. And this, let's look at engagement besides white space. This is from SPCA Wake County. And on the left, I love this engagement. A love letter to our supporters. And it's beautifully done, a QR code to take you to videos on the stories below. And then you can vote on your favorite story. They had some really nice traction to this as well. And on the right, we're talking about healing hearts, literally. So the story's a little long. It probably could have been pared back a little, but we really get across what's happening here, and we have some nice white space around, especially with all the copy. So again, it's a little easier on the eye. Now let's talk about prime real estate. Humane Society of Pikes Peak region, I love this. First of all, on the front cover, you have rooted me not only back to what I give to this organization, but look at this, you're a lifesaver. Literally, wow, what happened? You want to hear my story? What a way to pull me in. And then, hey, you know, my life was saved because of you. So Michaela, this is just a beautiful way to pull in the donor and bring them back to the root. And on the back side, because this was their February newsletter that year, they have their impacts. So sort of your infographic feel with some numbers, but I can scan that and really fast understand what's happened and what I had a part in. And then the bottom, we have a call to action, plan giving, protect your assets. Now, focus area 4 is fundraising. But first, who's our audience? Are you saying it out loud? Who's our audience? The donor. Okay. Don't forget to ask. If you have a call to action, or, we need calls to action to not only how they can get more involved, how they can drop off in-kind supplies or get, volunteer, besides, getting invested, involved in planned giving, or, hey, talk to me about my donor advice fund, whatever it might be. But we need clear calls to action. We need to not forget to ask, and we need to, when we show the impact, to make it sort of fun and correctly reinforce with that infographic or those numbers how it worked. Really important here, though, is how you mail this newsletter. I know many of you may still be using tabs, plastic tabs on, stickers, labels on the sides, and you are stitching in or stapling in a return envelope. Please, please go to this no matter what you do, or test it if you want, but you need to be mailing in an outside envelope. You need to include your inside envelope and a remit slip. And I know some people say, whoa, a remit slip, now it looks like an appeal. Not really. It's there to let them, the call to action that you've given them to do. So please know this is the way to lift your response rates and to lift your average gifts. This is very personal, and this is the format. So here's our components for, for the Vermont Food Bank. And as you look at this, you can see it's a number 10 outside envelope. We have the number 9 return and a remit slip. They have a 4-page newsletter, which is your highest ROI. I know some of you feel that you need the 8 pages or 12 pages, but your highest ROI will always be on 4 pages. And because people scan so much now, you can get a lot across as a way to go. Now, do you want your remit to look a little different? You could have a fold over. This is a premium, so they're receiving a bookmark on this remit. Just a nice little touch here and there to change things up. And how do we keep, not forgetting to ask or engaging them? So on the left, so Susan G. Komen here, you can see they've been invited to engage and actually be educated about her, H-E-R. They've given a website address. Go here, learn more, right? Underneath that, you're giving me a chance to go donate and quadruple my impact because Bank of America has given them a beautiful gift to make that happen. And over here on the right, we're reaffirming what the organization and the donor are doing together. So together we can end breast cancer forever, for everyone. And it is reiterated again through your partnership. You've, done this together. So continually reminding them how they're in the fight with you. Now, call to actions also can include planned giving, as we saw with American Bible Society. On the bottom here from 3 Square, it's how to engage on volunteering and celebrations. Right above it, there's a serious call to action from Pasadena. Dia, the president, had her regular president's column type piece, but in there, they also did this to really push that we are overloaded with kittens. We need, adoptions, fosters, KMR milk, you name it. It was all the things they needed. They were overwhelmed. So it was a great call to action. Last, over here on the right, you're seeing the Humane Society of Missouri, and we have 4 upcoming events on the back cover, but we also have a way to donate our vehicle. And at the bottom, hey, if you're not a monthly sustainer, we need you as a humane hero today. So let's wrap it up. Key takeaways. Who is the audience? I know you're saying it. Please say it with me. The donor. Why? Because we want to increase their loyalty, which is going to increase retention. We're going to shower them with gratitude and get them engaged. They're going to feel like they're more a part of the organization, and we're going to be reporting back the impact of their gifts properly. And with that, it's not about the organization, right? It's about how the donor's done it, or how the donor and the organization together have made it happen. It's being strategic with your prime real estate. That front cover is always the story that goes back to the root of your mission, and the back is always about your events or whatever you have upcoming that you really need to cover. And then it's compelling visuals. We need those eye-to-eye photos. We need pull quotes, testimonial sentences. We need everything we can to get across to those scanners how they have made an impact and how we need them still. So calls to action, right? Giving them either a way to donate or get involved in another method. So we want to do all those things. So what do some examples look like? Here's some donor-centric example sentences for you. You're the hero of this story. You're a lifesaver. You helped save Felix from a deadly virus. Thanks for making Mario's miracle possible. We have all kinds of things here. And if you need more, put it in the chat. I've got all kinds of sentences I can send you. And then, why invest my time, Lisa? Okay, we've gone through this, and Lisa, you've exhausted me. What is the benefit at the end of the day really for me to spend my time and energy to learn how to rewrite everything and to really dig into this? Well, what if you could raise 400 to 500% more gross revenue? What if you can lift your response rate by 300 to 400% and your average gift? And what if you can increase retention and your frequency of giving? That's what it does. So, hey, thank you. Thanks for joining me today and being a part. I look forward to reading all of your questions and being able to answer you. And hey, for past recordings or to learn more about upcoming webinars, just jump on over to rkdgroup.com/webinars and you can find it. Look forward to it. Thanks for spending your time and have a safe weekend. Bye.